So here's the follow-up to my COVID exposure. So when COVID rolled out a few years ago, I swear that my entire staff had it in November when they were denying that it was never in the United States and China announced that it was. So we all had this horrible cough for like two or 3 months. After that, then they announced COVID was in the United States, I think in April or some shit like that. So I didn't wear a mask the whole entire time. I don't think anybody in my store did at that point. And then we all of us lost our taste and smell, but we weren't sick. So I think that's the first, was the cough was the first strand. The second strain was no taste, no smell. And then the third is just the one that started killing everybody. That's just my opinion. So, what's it been, 2 years? Probably a little over 2 years now. So 2 years later, fast forward, I get COVID. My dad gets COVID first. He lives with me. April gets COVID. And then I'm the last one to get COVID, which I probably in better health than both of them, but who knows. I had a huge sneezing allergy attack that lasted all day long, which is not uncommon for me because super high pollen counts, forget it. I'm sneezing my brains out, my eyes are crying, my ears, my skin's crawling. Similar to that. Just sneezing all day long. 2 days, actually, Friday and Saturday was sneezing. I just couldn't get it to stop, and I try not to take anything. So Saturday comes, so Thursday we take a COVID test at the shop, and everyone's negative. Friday, Rachel takes it, she's negative. Saturday, she takes it, she's negative. Saturday, 12 o'clock, everybody splits. I'm staying at the shop working on my car, and I can feel it coming on. So by 2:30, I think I went home, and then I was like, man, I feel like crap. I felt like I had a fever, but I didn't have any temperature. But I could feel it inside of my body brewing. I've checked myself a couple times, and I never was like over 98 point something. It was up a little bit, but I'm usually 97 and change. It was up maybe a smidge. But man, I could tell I had something on. It was an infection, obviously. Infection in my body. We'll call it that. That lasted about 12 hours of me shivering, shaking, couldn't get warm under blankets, clammy, very short on breath. Like I was like trying to get oxygen into my body. That went on forever, enough to where my lungs and my stomach hurt. So I made it through the night. Then the next day, obviously my chest was in pain from that. Spitting up a little bit of yellow mucus. It was mostly clear prior to that, very little. And then just stuffy. Stuffy after that. I guess we'll call it the fever. I'll just call it the chills. I don't know what it was. That went from Saturday, late afternoon, to Sunday morning. By Monday morning, I felt good. I didn't feel super worn out or sick. My staff was concerned about it, so I had to abide by the CDC guidelines, which is 5 days quarantine. Even though I don't have a fever or anything for 24 hours, so we're going to stick to that. So Sunday, we'll say, was the day after, and then Friday would be my 5 days. No fevers for 24 hours. What was weird is I was craving weird shit. Pizza, hot sauce, oodles and noodles. I don't normally eat all that kind of crap, but that's what I was craving, and that's what I ate. What I did do is I take supplements every day, and I'll show you what they are. I took Alka-Seltzer twice a day, lemon tea, and honey. So I did that. Did this every day. And then Airborne. So I take that every day. That every day. That every day. That every day. Collagen. Men's Multi every day. Turmeric every day. Probiotic most of the time. But what I did with all my supplements is I would eat them in the morning, and then I would eat them again before dinner or just after dinner. So I really dosed up on that. I started taking some super vitamin C. My throat was a little weird, but it's not uncommon for my allergies to make the top of my roof of my tongue feel funny. So I did a little Himalayan salt and water. I also did a little vinegar, apple cider vinegar and water sip. Lots of water. I didn't eat any fruit, which I usually eat tons of fruit. But yeah, crazy. Some people were, you know, way more affected by that. But what did the 2 shots do? I felt like I was going to die anyway. The third one was going to make it not happen. My nephew's had all his shots and the boosters, and he's had COVID 3 or 4 times now. And he's felt horrible, just as horrible from what I know, as the first time he got it. So I don't know. Big lies, big scams, I don't know. Big farm, big experiment. I lived. I feel good. I'm ready to go back to work.